I think I found a great place to park my van here. This is Tannenberg. You've never heard of that, I know, but you will know it by its German name, which is Tannenberg, the site of two great battles. I'm going to come back to that in a moment. So my van is parked directly in front of where the police are, a substation, and there's a hotel there as well. Now I think that this isn't the parking for the hotel. The hotel's got parking around the side. At the moment we're still in coronavirus times, COVID-19. There are still restrictions, for example, and I think this will seriously affect businesses such as the one in front, Gospoda Rycerska, in their restaurant business and also in their hotel business. But anyway, coming back to where I am, I would have expected there to be more people here. It's now the 17th of June 2020. And it's quite empty, and this is pretty much a tourist attraction in Poland. Now there's not many people who actually live here. Street to the left, street to the right, and there's a few houses on both sides. Not a few, quite a lot I suppose. Must be maybe 150, something like that, houses. But if I come around here, so first of all you can see that we've got the bus stop here, and this is a pretty big bus stop for such a small place. The Gospoda Rycerska is there for the tourists who come here. On my left now, or left and straight ahead I should say, there's the cemetery. The cemetery's got a nice big car park. I checked the cemetery to see if there was any water, and there isn't. So I don't know how people are washing the graves. At least I couldn't find any water. Maybe I didn't look hard enough, who knows. In Poland it's a big thing to sort of wash graves, so that you can always get water if you go to a cemetery. Incidentally, in Germany, just about the only place you can find water is in the cemetery. And so, you know, in southern Europe, I use the well. There's plenty of public wells in Poland as well as public wells. In the larger cities, you don't really get them so much in the smaller places. Now, as you can possibly see in the distance, there is a big monument here. I'll bring the camera a bit closer. You can see a stone and a monument here. We'll walk down there, and that is for the Battle of Grunwald, which was in July 1410. So it's more than 600 years ago. Battle of Tannenberg is what we tend to use it as, although the Polish word Grunwald is being increasingly used. So Battle of Tannenberg 1410, first Battle of Tannenberg, and as you can see, this village here, where I am now, so that was Tannenberg, now Tannenberg. There is Grunwald, then Grunewälder, to use the former German word, and what we go for, Ludwigsdorf in German. Oh, I mean they're pretty small now, but then the time of the battle here, they were really tiny. So this is Pola Grunwaldu, the field of Grunwald. I need to point out, actually, for those who are aware of such things, that in German, Grunewälder is not the same as Grunwald. It's with green forest. It doesn't mean that. It's the name. It's not certain where the name comes from. I looked at it in Latin, and because the first mention of it is in Latin, and it didn't make a lot of sense. Anyway, that apart. So this is the battlefield here, and this battle was fought with the Teutonic Knights, who were crusaders. Crusaders were forced to leave Palestine, or Israel, I suppose. Palestine's a better way of putting it. The Near East, after the siege of Acre in 1292, wasn't it, or 1290? I've forgotten now, 1290 or 1292. But they still continued their job of converting the natives to Catholicism, or killing and pillaging and raping, depending on what they were fancied on any given day. They were doing that in this area. There were still people, then natives, who were non-Christian, the Prussians. So they were, anyway, so they were doing the good work up here, and they fell out with the Poles, who were allied to the Lithuanians, and some Russians and Tartars. And the two of them, well, the two sides I should say, had a battle here, and it was a major defeat for the Teutonic Order. The Teutonic Order, although it got a very gentle peace after it, it didn't actually survive. It effectively marked the end of the Teutonic Order. It fell into decline, let's say, as a result of this battle and the losses it suffered. Now, in 1914, there was a situation where you had the Russians invaded East Prussia. Germany did declare war on them. The Kaiser did that because he wanted to have a go. He wanted to knock France out first. A Russian army very quickly mobilized. Two armies. One came in from the east, so from the area of Vilna, and the other one came in from the south, from the area of Warsaw. And the one that was one that was defeated was the one that came in from Warsaw, and it was defeated in the area of what is today Olsztynek, Nijice. But the battle got the name, the Second Battle of Tannenberg, because General Max Hoffmann, who was the real victor, not Hindenburg and Ludendorff, it was Hoffmann's plan. He suggested calling it the Battle of Tannenberg, which it wasn't. And anyway, the name stuck, and that's why today we call it the Battle of Tannenberg. And the second battle, which defeated the Russian army, was the Battle of Masurian Lakes. So it's August and September 1914. General Samsonov committed suicide in Rennenkampf, who was the Russian commander at the Masurian Lakes. He managed to get away, but he was shot during the Russian Revolution. Anyway, so that's sort of where I am now. More details on that will be on my history side. I'm going to do a film of why it's called the Battle of Tannenberg, but there'll be more details in that. There you can see the monument. The monument was put up on the 550th anniversary of the battle. That would have been in 1960, and now the museum is looking for people who actually remember it being built. And the thing was this, I'm going to say this as a battlefield historian, maybe I'm just now being a bit mean on them, because but I don't like the way that battlefields are actually changed. Things are added to them. I've never been to Waterloo, but I understand it's the same there, that a huge hill has been made unnecessarily. And to me, when you come to a place like that, this as a sort of a battlefield sort of person, then you want to see it in its original state as much as possible, because I mean, you know, most times I see things from the Second World War, it's hard to imagine what they were like 80 years ago, but to try and expect something to be the same as more than 600 years ago is perhaps asking too much. Anyway, there's a museum there. There's also parking down here as well, and they're building a new museum. So what I think they're doing is they're knocking down the battlefield in order to extend the gift shop. And so there's a lot of work going on down there. I'll put the camera back to where it was, so you can see more that way. And you can also stop the night there in your van if you want. I noticed it was on Park for Night. I think it was 12 zloty. I hope it wasn't 12 zloty an hour, because if it was 12 zloty an hour, that's pretty expensive. But I think it was 12 zloty or one-off fee, and apparently nobody kicks you out. Apparently, that's what I heard. I don't know. I haven't tried it, because where I am, it's I've got to say it's quite nice. So I'm staying there. So I arrived here yesterday, and yesterday was a really nice day. Did a little bit of cycling this morning, fantastic in the morning. I rode around the battlefield, but I kept an eye on the time in order to be back before the thunderstorm started, and it was really quite violent, and so I just spent the day in my van. Not to worry, it was alright, it was nice to be here. And tomorrow though, I'm going to have to be up super early, because unfortunately the rain is going to start around midday. And I've got a program on weather.com, and actually shows you a radar, and you can get an idea of what the weather's going to be like. So, thanks very much for watching. I hope you found that interesting. It's nice to actually show something like this, because this to me is really what van life's all about. It's getting out and seeing places like this. I can do what really interests me, my history research. And, well, it's not really history research, it's more sort of documenting things. I'm not going into archives. And so, thanks, and keep watching.